Hey everybody, it's Michelle, and I'm actually videoing this particular subject because I've had a lot of questions about it, and maybe questions is a little bit of a light way of putting it. I get a lot of pushback on the nutrition front on healthy eating, things like that, and so I wanted to make this quick video to start to get you on the right foot, and then I'm going to put up some more blogs, and I'm actually working on an online class to help people relearn how to eat. Because it's my opinion that that is the most basic of our human rights, is to be able to feed ourselves properly, and we've given that away over decades and decades. We've just lost control. And so one of the big things that I want to tackle is the fact that I get a lot of pushback from people saying that it's way too expensive to eat healthy. You know, what can I do? It's too expensive, I just can't do it. And to that, I have to say, you've been sold that lie for far too long, and you really need to snap out of it and stop believing it, because that is a big lie that has been pushed on us, and then we tend to kind of just nuzzle up to it and like, okay, well, I'm comfortable over here and I don't want to change, so this is going to be my excuse to not change. You get what I'm saying? So you have to drop that. That has to no longer be a factor. And in saying that, I can't just say it and then run off, so I'm going to give you a few little ways that can help you. One, when you're in the produce section, first and foremost, by the way, guys, if you refuse to eat produce, you're not going to lose weight for the long haul. There's lots of fad diets out there that will tell you that they can, you don't have to eat vegetables and you'll still lose weight because we're cutting the calories, blah, blah, blah. If you're not eating your produce, your good live foods, then you are robbing the body of a lot of vegetables and fruits that harbor all of your vitamins and nutrients, and you cannot get them in pill form. There are just certain things that no matter how much man tries, we can't make it the way God did. So, just suck it up and eat your produce. The produce deal goes like this. The cheaper it is, that means it's in season. So when you go and shop your produce market, if it's in your, I shop at Kroger's a lot. Food Town here on my side has really good produce, and some of the larger chain grocery stores have really good produce. But, check the prices, because you don't want, if your cantaloupes are $5 a piece, good Lord, that means they're not in season, and they're having to pay more to have them grown and shipped. So make sure you're getting what's in season. That's going to be cheaper. Another option for your produce is to try farmers markets. And there's a lot of farmers markets. You take cash, you know ahead of time what you're going to buy, and then for a lot of them, if it's single sales, if it's one family that's running a little thing, and then they have the booth set up all over, you can barter with them. You can usually get your produce a little cheaper if you're willing to do that. And everybody does it. I mean, I cannot tell you the amount of people that ask me for free stuff all the time. So anyways, don't be afraid to take that road as well, but make sure that it's seasonable. Okay, right now we're moving into summer, so all of your berries are in season now. That's why your strawberries are on sale. Melons are in season. Your very, very leafy greens, all of the brightly colored vegetables. This is an awesome time of year to buy your fruits and vegetables. In the fall, coming into winter, that's more where the root vegetables, squash, all of that is more in season. So just, know what's in season. You can even look it up online, and that way you're getting the best bang for your buck, and you're getting more nutrients that way too. Okay, so don't follow a strict meal plan and go, well, I have to eat this right now because it says that I need to eat this. If it's not in season, don't eat it, because you're not actually going to be getting as much nutrition from it. Number 2, beans and rice is incredibly cheap. If you do dry beans, which is what we do, and we eat it probably at least once a week, I make a pot. When you put the beans and rice together, it's a whole grain rice. It makes a complete protein, so it helps to fuel your body, and it is literally like cents per bowl. And I get a variety of beans. I soak them for 24 hours, rinse them, put water back in them, soak them for another 24. That's just my preference. It kind of gets all the gas bubbles out, but it makes them a little easier to digest. And then the rice I'll usually make in bulk on the weekend, because the rice takes about 40 minutes. And sometimes, when you're rushing home from work and you don't have time to cook the rice, and then you're just like at a loss, The rice takes about 40 minutes, so I do it on the weekend. I make it in bulk. I put it in little containers in the fridge, and then I can just heat everything up together. The beans are great to do in the crock pot. Never underestimate the power of a crock pot, okay? It rocks for a lot of meals. Chicken breasts are a great lean protein. Buy them on sale and stock them in your freezer. That way you always have them. You can also get tuna and salmon either in cans or pouches. You will not get mercury poison unless you are eating like 5 to 10 cans of tuna a day, which most people do not do. So don't be scared of, you know, eating the canned tuna and things like that. And I am going to make another video that talks about the organic issues, so we'll go there later. In your dairy, you want to make sure that you're buying milk that has some kind of fat in it. About 1% is usually the best. It's easier for the body to digest. It doesn't have to be a certain brand or anything like that. It doesn't have to be organic. I hate to bust the organic bubble. But it doesn't have to be. Chickens, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? This is your big secret for the day. When it comes to eggs, I know we've got the free range and the cage, and it's like, oh, the free range is so much better, and at the cage, they're fed poop, and it's awful, and the nuggets in your eggs. So I don't know if there's any of you out there who've ever raised chickens, but chickens aren't exactly the smartest creation. And even the free range chickens, if given the opportunity, will eat poop. That's just kind of what they do, because they kind of scavenge around, and we won't get into it. It could be theirs, it could be another animal's. We don't know, but so there's not a big issue there. The omega-3 eggs simply means that the chickens were fed a grain diet that had flax and stuff and things that had more omega-3s in them, and therefore technically the omega-3s transfer to their eggs. So that's the deal with eggs. So you're looking at a really cheap diet. You should be able to feed a family of 4 with about $75 to $100 a week, if that. If you're doing a little cheaper, going mostly the beans and rice route, then you could probably get away with about $55 a week. And, when we're talking about money, just bear in mind that, because I get a ton of pushback about that, and like even with the Shakeology and everything, and you have to think, if you're going out to eat 3 times a week, just 3, and I'm not talking sit down, elaborate spread, all of that. I'm talking 3 times a week in a drive-through, spilling it in your lap on your way back to work, okay? Then you're actually wasting more money and more calories than even getting the Shakeology that lasts you. The bags last forever. We have a ton that's just like, it's like growing in the pantry, but so, it's about pacing yourself and just know, ooh, exciting, I got a text. Okay, so it's about pacing yourself and knowing your portions is a huge thing. Knowing how much produce you'll actually go through, because you certainly don't want to buy it and then it goes bad. Fruit you can always freeze, though, which is awesome. You can always make vegetable soup with the leftover vegetables and freeze that. So I try really hard to never let any of my produce go bad, but it took years of me learning how to utilize it. So think about that, get hooked on your beans and rice. And honey, I've got so many awesome beans and rice recipes. You can do anything with beans and rice. So you can eat healthy, cheap. And when I'm talking cheap, I'm talking healthy, not dollar menu, okay? Seriously, people, let the dollar menu go, okay? I don't know when we got into this whole thing about, well, my body is just one giant dump truck. I can put anything in it. And then we wake up and we go, oh, what's the matter? Everybody's sick and we've got disease everywhere and our kids are obese and they've got all these problems and blah, blah, blah. And, duh. Your food doesn't just go in one end and out the other. There's a lot that happens in between. So make sure that you're putting a good diet in. And for us personally, we don't do a lot of fast food, although I will give a shout out to Chick-fil-A, who now has grilled nuggets. Yay, Chick-fil-A. And that's pretty much the only fast food that we do. We don't do any of the fast food chains or anything like that. If we're going to go out to eat, we go out to eat at a good restaurant where the food is made. We can now tell, it's funny because we can tell if a food is canned or frozen when it's at a restaurant because it has a certain flavor to it. And the more cleansed you get your palate, the better that's going to be. So I promise I'm going to get some more videos out. I'm going to also be posting up some recipes, and all of the recipes that I post do not have crazy ingredients in them. I don't want you feeling like you have to run across the state to go get something. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible for you, because we have to reclaim the most basic of our human rights, which is just feeding ourselves and our family, and feeding ourselves and our family in a way that makes us feel good and gives us more energy. And so I hope that these tips and tricks will help, and I hope to see you back here real soon. Have a healthy day.